Hi, it's Steve. In today's video, we're going to show you a couple of methods of how to clean your dryer vent. Keeping your dryer vent clean is important for a couple of reasons. Number one, the cleaner your vent is, the more efficient your dryer will work and therefore save you money. Another important reason for keeping your dryer vents clean is from a safety aspect. Lint buildup in your dryer vents also causes lint to build up inside of your dryer and can create a fire hazard. Now, before we attempt to move the dryer, the first thing we should do is to disconnect the power. Now that we've disconnected power to the dryer, we're going to look over the back of the console and look at that venting to make sure that as we move the dryer, we don't damage the venting. Now, with the dryer pulled far enough forward that we can access the back of it, our next step will be to pull the vent off of the back of the dryer, and we'll inspect that to see if there's any buildup of lint or debris in that area. We'll also look into the inside of the dryer from the backside, again to make sure that we don't have any buildup there. Now, if you've detected quite a bit of lint buildup on these inlet grills, you'll probably want to disassemble the dryer, as chances are a fair bit of lint has got pulled back into that area and will be laying somewhere near the heating source and could become a fire hazard. So you'll want to take the dryer apart and vacuum all that lint out inside. Well, now that we've cleaned up the inlet ducts to the back of our dryer, we've checked out the ductwork coming inside of the dryer, as well as the elbow to exit into the vent work. Our next step will be to use the dryer air to actually force out any lint that we may loosen up when we come in from outside to clean up that ductwork. Now, depending on the type of equipment that you use to clean that ductwork, you may wish to add this type of a device, which will prevent our brush from coming inside of the dryer, and we'll just attach that to the outlet duct on the back of our dryer here. And then we'll reattach the duct onto that. Make sure it fits on nice and snug. To expel that loosened up lint that we're going to create, we're going to turn the dryer on and force the lint out through the outside of the home. Now let's go outside and finish this job. Now, one of the most common methods for cleaning a dryer duct is to use some type of a rotary brush. So these are fairly easy to access, either from a rental company or you can purchase them from most hardware stores. Essentially what we have is a 4-inch brush that would fit inside of our ductwork, and we drive it with a portable drill. Now, depending on the method that you choose, if you want to vacuum while you're cleaning, you would attach this adapter, and through the small hole we would feed our rotary brush. Attach our vacuum to here, set that right on top of our vent, and that will capture all of the lint that we loosen up. On a short vent such as we have here today, we probably won't bother with the vacuum. We'll just allow that lint to come out. Because it could become quite dusty, you may want to make sure that we have some type of filter to protect yourself. And since we don't know what's inside of that vent, be sure to have some safety glasses as well. Now, before we can feed this brush into the vent cap, if you have a louvered style like this, you'll need to remove those. If you have a single flap, you simply need to lift it up and slide that in. If you were going to use the vacuum cleaner to vacuum up that lint, you'll need to remove the cap altogether. This particular one is missing one of the louvers, so we're going to end up replacing that anyways. This is allowing outside air to enter that ductwork at all times, as well as it gives an avenue for a rodent to get in. Something else we want to look at is any lint buildup that inhibits the free movement of these louvers. They should close completely when there is no air exiting that dryer vent. So for this one, we're simply going to pull that whole cap right off. It's just a friction fit, so just grasp it. And we can pop that right off. You can see that we do have a little bit of lint built up in here, which would tell us that there's probably some in that ductwork as well. So now we're ready to insert our brush into the ductwork. We know the approximate length of our ductwork, so we can then attach the appropriate number of extensions to this wand. Now, as we attach those extensions, we'll want to make sure that we tighten those securely. We don't want them coming apart inside of our ductwork. We use 2 pair of pliers. Tighten the threads securely. And we also suggest that you wrap that with either a bit of electrical tape or duct tape to keep it from turning. And then we'll add another one to it. Next, we'll attach the cordless drill to those wands and make sure we have it in a clockwise direction, otherwise they may unthread and get stuck inside the vent. So pull our mask up. Well, now that we've managed to get the ductwork cleaned, we next need to replace that defective vent cap. Some of the more common ones would be that similar style of louvered vent cap. We've also found one that had just 3 louvers rather than 4. And then a single louvered. But this particular one does have a screen or a cage over the bottom of it. However, what it does is it collects all that wet lint and plugs off, creating a serious fire hazard. So if you use this style, be sure to toss that away. Now, once you've chosen a vent cap to your satisfaction, make sure it's pressed firmly onto the ductwork. Secure it to the building using stainless steel screws, and then we're going to caulk all the way around the perimeter to prevent any moisture infiltration. And then your job is complete.